Guys, it's Charlie Mayday here, and today we will be doing a DIY on how to make authentic looking documents and letters that possibly could have been burned up in a fire if you'll see the burnt edges there. So, let's talk about that. Okay, so for the project, I had a bunch of pieces of paper with like these letters written on them because the project is for World War I. And then I chose a font on the computer that was kind of looking like handwriting. Then, see if I can find something white. This is white-ish. Then I took the paper and I stained it with a coffee, my morning coffee, and what it is, I just took a sponge brush and like dabbed it on to the paper. And then at lunch, thank you to Mrs. Saunders, I was able to burn the edges with a lighter. See, so it gives it a really nice, kind of older look to it, especially this one, where it has so much brown left. But with these, that's like my letters, and it just looks really awesome. So this is kind of what I'm doing for the project, and like staining the papers and stuff, because I have one more. I didn't really plan to do it, but I guess I could do it on cam. So this is kind of what I'm doing. Here's like my coffee pot. And the paper I'm like staining. It's had a couple coats of coffee so far. And it seems to be doing well. But it's still not really as dark as I would like it, because I have these and it kind of matches them. But I want to make this one a little bit darker. I have a sponge that's like soaked with coffee in a little cup, and a hairdryer. Remington. I can't see that through the camera. All that. Remington. Okay. Don't mind dinner. See, we like dip the sponge in the coffee. And then we go dab, 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 dab. I need to put the phone down. Hold on. Because when you dab at the paper, it like, well, when it was dry at least, now it's soaking wet again, it'll like come up with the sponge. So I just kind of dab at it. Kind of put bubbles on the paper. You can see like bubbles there, and wrinkles. Wrinkles make it look authentic. And you don't want to wipe at it, because then the paper starts to peel. I don't know if you can actually see that, but then we take a hairdryer. Now the heat is on high, and we're just passing over it quickly, and you can see there where it flicked up, so you have to like fix that a lot. And it's on a high heat and on the highest speed setting, so there is like a chance that you could burn the paper. So I've actually done that by accident before. Burnt the toilet paper with a hairdryer. And so you want to move it rather fast over the paper. And you see where it's starting to get dry, it'll fly away. So I'm keeping the hairdryer very close to the paper. But I'm not actually touching it. So this seems to be working rather well. Now you can see the paper, you can like hear it crinkle, so it's dry. It's very wrinkly, so the wrinkly looks good. And we're going to like fold it. This one we want to be like dirty, because it's going to be like an old document and stuff. So I'll probably find a way to like make it dirty and stuff. and I accidentally ripped it here, but I'm just going to use that as like just kind of an okay thing. It's like authenticity, I guess. It's happened over the years. And we'll probably burn the edges, and I can make that look like fire has eaten away at the paper. Because I want the story to kind of be that these letters were like in a safe, and there was a fire. So, and like they were recovered, but kind of burnt around the edges. So it adds a really neat part of depth to the paper, or project. So, to begin with this, kind of wrap up how we were doing the whole burning process and staining. We have it completely stained now, and we're going to take a lighter, and we will burn the edges kind of where it ripped to just make it look like it burned up in a fire almost.
You want me to hold the camera?
Not really. We're going to slightly burn the edges as to not get rid of really much of the material. We're going to kind of blow on it just to make it go out. And you can kind of hit it and get rid of the burnt edges. Get rid of that because it's just hanging on by a thread.
Don't do those sides.
I'm not. And just the upward corner. And now we have our finished document.